No speed at all, and going into that tower wall at the end of the Tarzan hairpin. There's the China car, Hu Pingtung. He was a passenger. We saw that happen to Lebanon in the sprint race, but this time, well, Daniel Murad's getting out of the car, but that was, we don't know what happened. We'll have to have a replay of that, but he looked like he lost virtually no speed whatsoever, and safety car for the second time today has been deployed.
What did he do?
Oh, and again, back end of the car, under braking, and the car's just, well, in fact, the impact's been, it was the way the car spun around after impact that looked more nasty. Again,
there's a puddle on the outside there too.
And that's what caught out Murad. We saw and he just simply slammed into the damage to both cars. Very heavy indeed, of course, bouncing over the gravel trap. And that's a 60-mile-an-hour impact into the tower wall, and China taking out innocent party and all that. So once again, safety car has been deployed with just 4.5 minutes plus 1 lap of this race remaining.
And I'll tell you what threw us there in that replay was we saw Brazil, and that's because Brazil have joined into this race well through it.
I was thinking, is that the Brazil car? Can't be there, not in the race. But Brazil haven't joined in. They're 3 laps down. We haven't seen anything about it all during this event.
They're not 3 laps down, John. They're 32 laps down, I think, at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm looking at, yes. The interval, there's 32 laps down. There's 32 laps down, 3 laps down in the Swiss car, which of course retired from the race way earlier.
Yeah, so Brazil have joined in the fun and games, and actually at this rate they might score some points. Monaco at the end of the pit lane under red light, because the safety car's out at the moment. They've come in presumably to make their second stop for tyre change, and now they're being held in a red light because we're under safety car.
Yeah, and he's going to have to sit there probably for the best part of 3 minutes while the safety car makes its way around there. Hu Pingtung. And that was, he didn't even know what had happened. He just suddenly hit. When I called the Lebanon car in the sprint race an unguided missile, well, literally in the feature race, that's what it was. And there's not a straight corner remaining in that car. And bodywork damage, the nose, probably the rear wing, and goodness knows what damage done to the underbody of the car as well. So Lebanon, who promised so much the potential to get a good point score in the feature race, now going to go home with 0.
I don't know. They might get points out of this race still, because looking at the number of cars that have gone out of this race, I'm not sure that Lebanon might actually still end up scoring some points here today, despite now being out of the race.
Well, what a way to score your points.
Yeah.
What a way to score your points.
Standing by the side of the road. Well, let's wait and see what happens. But with under 3 minutes to go, plus a lap, safety cars out there, I wonder if the race will even get under race conditions again.
I suspect that the race, in fact, the safety car is sitting in the pit lane waiting for, as the Lebanon car being craned away. Look at the damage to the side of the car, radiators and all the electronics that are attached to the side of the monocoque. So the safety car is actually sitting, waiting here for the lead car to come down. There's the lead car coming now. And once again, Monaco's going to have to wait until the entire chain of cars goes past before he'll be released.
Yeah, in fact, they picked up Korea. Well, they have to, really, because Korea are only just ahead of Team France, which is the race leader. There is the race leader, Loic Duval, who's driven superbly. I remember we were commentating on it, actually, John. I was just about to talk about Olivier Panis, because he took his one and only Grand Prix win in very wet conditions in Monaco. We were there that day. He, of course, is nowadays on the pit wall for A1 Team France, isn't he?
And he's actually got an active role. He's in first thing in the morning, and he's there until the end of the day. And he's not sort of swanning in like ex-Grand Prix drivers are prone to do. He's actually got an active role and assisting with the driver. Truthfully, it's not that Loic Duval needs an awful lot of that, but when France decide to run their rookie, and that'll be Nicolas Prost, then the experience and expertise of Olivier Panis should give Nicolas Prost some more advantage.
Well, it was pretty wet that day at Monaco when he took a victory. Loic Duval has already had a win in A1GP. This isn't going to be his first, but I tell you what, it's been mighty impressive. But don't forget, if we were to go racing again, which I think is a bit unlikely, Malaysia are now going to be right on the tail of Team France. So I suppose we've better wait and see with this one. Let's not count our chickens and all that, because if the race does restart, you might get a bit of a dice between France and Malaysia, with New Zealand up there in third. And once again, what can we say about this young man, El Baba? Just taking another look at this incident, it is frightening. He just loses the back end of the car. I'm sure it aquaplaned slightly.
Oh, and look at China's cars that went backwards.
Yeah.
They'd almost got over went car over the top, but it's the water standing. He hit the back of the China car in a spin, and again, when I say 60 miles an hour, maybe it was more than that. But the back of the China car slammed by Lebanon, just forced China all the way up. It's quite a deep gravel trap at the Tarzan hairpin.
So, oh dear, these guys are going to have an awful lot of work to do to get the cars back in one piece. They've worked so hard to get all these cars here this weekend.
Do you think anybody's brave enough to bring the safety car in as the time, it's almost under, well, it is under half a minute of this race remaining. So do you think the safety car will be brought in and let this last lap go back under green flag racing?
I don't know, we've seen
I'll tell you, North America,
yeah,
no doubt.
I was going to say, I've seen it many times in the States.
Absolutely, this is what the public come to see. This is what the television tune in. Jack Cunningham, seat holder for Malaysia, he's sitting there wondering maybe the same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So there's one lap of this race remaining. The lights are remaining on, but will they be switched off at the last moment and dive into the pits, or will this race be finished under a safety car?
They're going to come across the line now, and presumably it'll be one lap under safety car because he's not come in, John. So presumably this race is going to therefore end under safety car. We've sort of just run out of time at the end to be able to give them a run to the checkered flag, and that means surely that Team France have taken victory here at the first feature race of season 4 under amazingly difficult conditions. Loic Duval has survived where many others have not, and I don't ever remember seeing him actually put a wheel wrong. He's been so impressive out there. Great drive also from Faraz Fawzi, sitting there in second place. These two really dominating certain parts of the race, and then in third place it's going to be Earl Bamber for New Zealand. John, you've just got to congratulate any guys who made it to the end. It was so tough out there today.
Well, there's been some outstanding driving, mainly at the front, and there's been some driving which has been, let's say, inexperience on the part of those drivers. I mean, most difficult conditions, and because you've got changeable conditions in that one lap, you've got a track that's sort of half drivable, but you come round a lap further. I mean, I didn't see any of that standing water as you come onto the braking zone into the tires on hairpin. It caught out the Brazil car, and then just simply Lebanon and Daniel Marad charged down in. I mean, he is a charger, we know that. He got caught and then simply just swiped the rear of the China car. But this man, Loic Duval, has really been a star here this weekend. Only got the car on Saturday morning and has won the feature race.
Yeah, that is amazing. First time he drove the car was in qualifying, and he's managed to do it. Well, the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, but the checkered flag will be displayed at the same time. So presumably that's it, all over effectively, unless they have a little drag race to the line. I suppose that's always possible, and certainly you could see Duval is not backing off yet. He's keeping his focus and his concentration.
No, he's absolutely right, because one little error we saw Adam Carroll did at the start of the sprint race by just being a little bit too eager on the throttle pedal, and that Faraz Fawzi is right on the gearbox. The remains of the field are being backed up by France. Loic Duval's going to wait until he gets out of turn 14, then he's going to take advantage of leading this pack, get on the throttle, get the drive. There it is. I mean, even I could work it out.
Yeah, great stuff from him. Oh, he's backed it off a bit again. He's backed it off a bit. He's not gone yet. We'll be careful doing that. Now he goes, and it's a drag race to the line for the victory here at Zandvoort in the feature race. He's absolutely flat out already through Harry Lyndike corner. Are we going to see any place changes on this final lap? Let's see as they come across the line. France wins in the wet at Zandvoort. The first feature race of season 4 taken by France. Second goes to Malaysia. New Zealand is third. Australia finishes fourth. The Netherlands takes fifth, and it's going to be Monaco who finish in sixth position, with Lebanon, I am sure, still taking their first points in A1GP despite being out of the race. But France have done it. They've taken the victory. Malaysia, though, are now leading the championship, courtesy of a win earlier on and second place in this one.
Well, I mean, a superb drive by Loic Duval. All you can say is that was a masterclass in driving in the rain. He showed us some of his techniques very clearly. He managed to steer clear of some of the very deep puddles, and that puddle at the end of the straight, I just saw it on the cars as they came through.